Hi everyone, Sean Bateman here again, and well, I want to talk to all my viewers here about how to do a movie, right, in a way, but also a mini series, but because it, this movie I want to talk about right now, it's actually started as a mini series way back in 1985. It was from It was how to introduce She-Ra to the Masters of the universe, and it was shown in its original episodic form during the week of the premiere of the She-Ra series, which is actually a spin-off of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. From September 9th, 1985 to September 13th, 1985. For series purposes, the film is known as the storyline The Sword of She-Ra, but when it became a animated feature film, it was known as He-Man and She-Ra, The Secret of the Sword. The budget of the film was $2 million, and it brought in $6.5 million, which is pretty good. And the release date for the film was March 22nd, 1985. And the story goes that the sorceress who gave He-Man his sword had premonition of what's happening in another dimension. So she calls Prince Adam, who's He-Man's alter ego, and Cringer, who was Bellcat's alter ego, to Castle Grayskull for a mission, and she gave them a sword similar to his sword, but instead there's a jewel in the middle of it on the hilt of the sword, and they went to the dimension to figure out who about this anomaly, and so they met with these people who are against the villainous horde called something or other, but called the Rebels, and just picture it as almost like the Jedi's and the Empire from Star Wars, but instead of having all the Empire being stormtroopers, just the minor characters that are just there for fodder. The equivalent to the stormtrooper, while the main villains have different personalities and abilities. Like, one person has 4 legs and has these hypnotic his eyes pop out and give these kind of rays, and his name is Mantena. Another one is a bipedal leech called Leech, which I think is a good thing to have on your team if you're part of the villains to actually weaken you. Well, the Rebels has a master archer named Bo, which kind of is kind of funny but ironic, and the Orko stand-in Cowl, which is kind of like an owl koala mix. And during the mission, He-Man stumbles onto this blonde who is kind of foreshadowing that what would happen. She captures him and take over to him to where the main villain Hordak, who is, spoilers if you've never seen the film, the mentor to Skeletor. That's right. And they were trying to send him to an island for prison, so the rebels took, including Battlecat, did the escape, try to break him out of jail, take him back to the hideout, and during this place, the journey in this dimension, which is called Etheria, He-Man's telling this first captain, who is actually his sister, and she was found out about her being He-Man's sister, and by the sorceress via the small gem in the sword. So she transformed into She-Ra and stopped Hordak for the time being, so they can actually go back to Eternia. So they have a nice family reunion with the king and queen of Eternia, who had a nice moment with their twin daughter and son, and old Hordak came through the portal to Eternia, came up with an idea to get the Princess Adora, which is He-Man's sister's actual name, back to Eternia. Yada yada yada. It's actually a nice way to actually expand the universe, but back to helping out with Hordak. He asked Skeletor to help him out to get Adora back to Etheria, which was a pretty good idea. With using a disguise, which he had disguised himself as a chef and a cake to get into the castle. Plus, well, it was a nice way to get back to Etheria. There was a one hell of a battle for the climax of the film, and I'm not gonna spoil the ending. You gotta watch it. And my only nitpicks for this film, as well, the animation was cutting corners because it was made by Filmation, and they know how to actually stretch a buck for said film. And to me, it should. If you want to recycle, I can see if you want to recycle a certain movement, I can see it once every 20 episodes or so, but not Filmation. They recycle it every episode. Same stock footage, but what are you gonna do? And some of the voice actors are still for He-Man and She-Ra still around. And you can, if you listen closely to the voice actors, you can hear them in different works. And out of 5, I'm gonna give He-Man and She-Ra, The Secret of the Sword, a 3.5 out of 5.